What's up, fighters? Fuma Kodachi here, and in today's video, I wanted to go over how to unlock costumes in Dead or Alive 6. Now, if you've been around the Dead or Alive scene for some time, you'll know that unlocking costumes is a pretty straightforward process. 6, however, has decided to shake things up a little bit. In previous installments of Dead or Alive, getting costumes was pretty straightforward. You would pick the character you wanted to play, go into arcade, survival, time attack. You would complete it as many times as needed, and each time you would complete one of the rounds of that version that you chose, you would unlock a costume for that character. It pretty much was in a specific order. You would go down the list, and if a character had 15 costumes, you would essentially have to play 15 times of arcade, survival, etc. to unlock those costumes. Granted, in some of the later versions of Dead or Alive, there were specific things you had to do, such as things in training mode or combo challenges, to be able to unlock certain costumes, so they did change things up a little bit, but other than costumes locked behind DLC, Dead or Alive 6 changes things. Now, how exactly does Dead or Alive 6 change things? Well, in the beginning, Dead or Alive 6 had it so that when you completed a session of arcade, time attack, survival, something like that, you wouldn't unlock a costume, you would unlock costume pieces, and each costume had a certain amount of pieces. Initially, when you unlocked these pieces, it was for a random character, not the one you were playing. So when you got pieces, and let's say you were playing as Bayman, you have the chance of unlocking a costume for someone else. So there's pros and cons to that. The pros being you now have the chance to unlock more costumes for more characters without maybe specifically having to play characters that you want. The cons are, if you're really trying to get a specific costume for your favorite fighter, it can be very challenging and time consuming and kind of a grind to get the character costume that you're going for. There's really no incentive to play any character other than the ones you feel like playing. So, after some backlash from the community voicing their disapproval of that, Team Ninja decided to change things up a little bit. So now they've changed it so that when you complete one of those sessions of whatever game mode you choose, you still get a certain amount of points or costume pieces, but now they apply directly to the character that you are playing as. So if you want to unlock costumes for Bass, you gotta play as Bass. You want to unlock costumes for Diego, or if you want to unlock costumes for whatever character, you just pick that character and you're good to go. You still have to unlock the pieces though, and things are still just a little bit different. Instead of things being in kind of a sequence where you would unlock costume 1 and then costume 2, 3, and so on, now they have it where that when you unlock costume pieces, you could unlock pieces for any of the costumes that can be unlocked that way. So if you played 3 times, and let's say you got 100 points each time, you could get 100 points toward a costume that has 200 needed. You could put 100 toward one that needs 500 or 1,000. So you're still kind of in a bit of a grind where if you want to unlock the costume that you want, you're gonna have to play several times before you may even get any of the costumes. And since they're at random, you might not unlock the one that you're necessarily aiming for, but at least now for sure you're getting points toward the character that you actually want to get a costume for. Things have also changed a little bit in addition to that as well. Once you actually get all of the costume pieces needed to actually complete that costume, now you need to purchase the costume. And I'm going to go ahead and show you right now what it looks like when you've gotten all the pieces you need for a character you want, and you're going to go ahead and unlock them with the player points or the tokens that you've earned by playing the game, and then add it to your wardrobe. Alright, so let's get started. What we're going to go ahead and do is come down here to DOA Central, and when you go in there, you're going to be able to access your wardrobe. From there, you're going to want to choose the character that you have unlocked the costume for. There, you'll go ahead and select on one of your slots, click on the costumes, and you will have your list. From here, you'll be able to select ones that you've completed all of the points for and are now available for unlocking. This one here is kind of Ayane's standard costume, kind of the original that's needed for pretty much any Ayane main. Go ahead and ask them, they'll tell you that's the one they need. But as you can see here, there are a ton of costumes that are available, and some of these are wildly different and pretty cool. This one in particular is so dapper and just so fancy. I love it. I can't wait till I'm able to get this one. It just looks so nice. Especially in white too, looks really good. I feel like they did a great job on some of these costumes. They're very varied, very cool. Anyways, so let's come back here to this one. I've got enough player tokens, as you can see up top there. I've got 22,400. This one costs 20,000. Go ahead and click yes. Go ahead and click yes if you want to change into that one, and there you go. You have now unlocked the costume for your character, and you've equipped it, and you also get rewarded by the game telling you good job. And now you can do essentially the same thing with player tokens with things like accessories, classes, things like that. You can go through, pick the one you want, and equip them, as far as I can tell, to pretty much any character you want. Ayane's look really great. We'll get that one of these days, but I want to save my tokens for more costumes right now than necessarily getting accessories. And here you can also see you can use the same thing to affect their hairstyle. We got a neat little ponytail here, looks pretty cool. Pigtails, if you're into that kind of thing, looks very nice. And nice little hair clip, looks very good. Nothing really wrong with any of these. Personally though, in my opinion, bandana is the way to go. OG Ayane, looks great, it's the best. But that's just my opinion. So there you go. You now know how to not only unlock the costume you want for your character, you know how to purchase it, different hairstyles, different accessories, and how to save them to a slot. And of course you can do this with all characters. It's pretty much the same. So for myself, I'm going to be focusing on my main characters first. Ayane, Mia, Bass, newcomer, Nico. Super fun to play, really enjoying that character as well. And I'm going to go and just try and unlock them, but obviously there's going to be a ton of replay value here just because of all the costumes for all the various characters, and of course they are going to be adding more. One other thing of note here, when you're going through arcade mode, when you're going through time attack, and they have the various difficulty levels, it's important to note that the harder the difficulty you complete, the more costume pieces you will be rewarded with. So even though hard, champion, true fighter, all that, even though it may be really difficult sometimes to complete, you could get hundreds of costume points as compared to easy or normal. You may only get 100 or 200. So it really encourages you to just go in there and unlock a costume by picking the stronger, harder difficulties. And from what I can tell, it looks like some of those points actually spill over. So if you unlock a costume and you have points remaining, they will go toward another one. So it does really incentivize you to push yourself and fight those harder opponents. Like, I know you can, fighters. You can totally do it. I believe in you. So with that, I hope that clears things up. Now you understand how to unlock a costume, how to get the ones you want, and what it's going to take to get it. It's not necessarily better. I don't necessarily think it's worse. It's just different. Everyone has their own opinions on it, but it's definitely gonna make sure you put in your time to get all the costumes you want. And of course, with that, fighters, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I can't wait to see you online when we start kicking each other's butts and punching each other's faces. And I will see you all next time. And as always, keep fighting, fighters.